This is a metric ruler. We can also say it as a meter rod or a scale calibrated in millimeters. Calibrated in millimeters means that the smallest division on the scale is 1 millimeter. As it can be seen that the biggest division on the scale is equal to 1 centimeter, while the smallest division on the scale is equal to 1 millimeter. Hence, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. In other words, a millimeter is 1/10 of a centimeter. Now let's read this ruler in millimeters. 0 millimeter starts from here, then 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, and so on. Now let's read this ruler in centimeter. 0 centimeter starts from here, 0.1 centimeter, 0.2 centimeter, 0.3 centimeter, and so on. Now let's talk about the least count. The smallest reading that can be taken using a ruler is called its least count. Hence, the least count of this ruler is 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. Can you measure what is the length of this white stick? This is very simple. It is 70 millimeter or 7 centimeter. Now, can you measure the length of this blue stick? Yes, this is a bit tough. It is not possible to measure it exactly. For this measurement, we need to understand the concept of imaginary midpoint. Imaginary midpoint is a point which we just imagine in our mind at a midpoint between a smallest division. This point is not actually present on the ruler. For detail of understanding the midpoint, let's zoom in to one smallest division. This is the smallest division of the ruler. This red line with a ball is approximately at the midpoint between the two lines. The line previous to the midpoint is called previous division and the line next to the midpoint will be called next division. We will present three rules for making a reading. Rule number 1. If the end of the stick touches the midpoint of the smallest division, the reading is extended to the next division. Rule number 2. If the end of the stick crosses the midpoint of the smallest division, the reading is extended to the next division. Rule number 3. If the end of the stick does not touch the midpoint of the smallest division, the reading is confined to the previous division. After having the concept of midpoint, let's go back and find the length of the blue stick. Since the stick has crossed the midpoint between 32 and 33 millimeters, therefore the reading will be extended to the next division. Hence the reading is 33 millimeters or 3.3 centimeters. Let's have a test at this stage. Can you measure the gray stick? Now, you are given 10 seconds. The reading is 25 millimeter or 2.5 centimeter. Now let's find the lengths of these three sticks. The yellow stick, the green stick, and the sky blue stick. In millimeters, it is 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127. In centimeters, it is 12, 12.1, 12.2, 12.3, 12.4, 12.5, 12.6, 12.7. Let's take the reading of the yellow stick. Since the yellow stick has crossed the midpoint between 126 and 127 millimeter, therefore the reading is 127 millimeter or 12.7 centimeters. Now let's take the reading of the green stick. Since the green stick is exactly coincide with 127 millimeter, therefore the reading of the green stick is 127 millimeter or 12.7 centimeters. Let's take the reading of the sky blue stick. The sky blue stick did not touch the midpoint between 127 millimeters and 128 millimeters. Therefore, the reading is confined to 127 millimeter or in centimeter the reading is 12.7 centimeters. So the sticks lie between 12.65 centimeters and 12.75 centimeters give the same reading as 12.7 centimeters. Amazingly, three different sticks have the same reading. Hence, the stick which has actual reading 12.7 minus 0.05 centimeter will also be read as 12.7 centimeters. And the stick which has actual reading 12.7 plus 0.05 centimeter will also be read as 12.7 centimeters. This means any recorded reading with the ruler calibrated in millimeters may have an uncertainty of equals to plus minus 0.05 centimeter. It is in fact equivalent to an absolute uncertainty of 0.1 centimeter, half above and half below the recorded reading. Remember, the least count of this ruler is also 0.1 centimeter, and now the absolute uncertainty is also 0.1 centimeter. Hence, absolute uncertainty of any instrument is equal to the least count of that instrument. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully this video was somehow helpful to you. If it was, kindly hit that like button, and if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to our channel.